what's your name?
My name's Alan.
Okay. And then let's try that one more time. So you just be having the conversation with me, essentially.
Okay.
Just have you look right at me.
Okay, great.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Alan.
Okay. And why are you in Utah?
I'm in Utah. I can't say that I have any real reason for being here. I moved here about 11 years ago from Las Vegas. I started out in St. George. I got myself a job as a wilderness therapy counselor, wilderness counselor for dysfunctional youth. Did that for about 5 years, and during that time I really fell in love with the place.
So what is it that made you fall in love with Utah?
The geography, kind of the spread, the availability of the diverse climates and everything. It's really incredible. Yeah.
And was there anything like culturally? I guess Vegas and Utah are kind of different. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what can you tell me some of the differences you see as far as that goes?
The differences between culturally anyways, between, we'll say, Las Vegas, and I've lived in 11 different states. I was born out east, and I've got a good taste for what it's like culturally across the nation, and Utah is by far and wide culturally the most different than all of the other states. It is the way I like to describe Utah in a nutshell to people when they ask what's brought me here. It's like culturally, Utah is odd. Geographically, absolutely gorgeous. And what do you mean culturally? And Utah is really the only place I've ever lived in my life where I felt like an outsider. And it took me a couple of years to kind of figure my way through all of that. But being the new kid in every other state that I'd lived in, going to the new schools, new programs, I learned to adapt and be relatively outgoing and be accepted into I have a group of friends pretty quickly. Not so much in Utah. It was a really much slower process, and so that is quite unique, I think, to cultural Utah.
Yeah. So what is it that actually made you feel like an outsider? Was it just, you can answer that however you feel.
What made me feel like an outsider? I think it's maybe a genuineness or just a general acceptance. It was, there's always the, hi, how are you? Oh, good, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. We kind of get into it and everything. They learn a little bit more about me, and, but there's kind of this arm's length distance between us. It's not like, come on over, let's do this, whatever. I found that once a good number of people found, especially when I was in St. George, I think that it's that culture, the church culture of the Latter-day Saints, is much stronger there than it is here. It's a little bit more diverse up north, and I just found that once I figured out that I didn't participate in want to participate in what it was that they practiced, they didn't have any real interest in allowing me to be affiliated with them, and some of them were not so much that way, but a good lot of them were, so much so that it affected me emotionally. I couldn't figure why I was kind of slumped into a little bit of a depression, and it wasn't until I really got more familiarized with the outdoors and how, just what's available just outside of our doorsteps there. And once I figured out that, I really got turned on to the outdoor community, and I started meeting people from all over the world, and in that way, Utah is a real attraction for people to come here and do that sort of thing, and yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think we are good.
Yeah, great.